Have you ever gotten to the end of the day and then maybe you're finally getting some time to sit down? You're tired and your body feels very heavy. And then you're wondering to yourself, thinking, I've been busy all day, but then what have I actually achieved? What have I moved forward? You're not asking yourself, what did you actually do? No, because obviously you did something with your time. Rather, you're asking, what actually moved from point A to point B, no matter how small the distance is. If you ever had that feeling, I would like you to know that it's not because you are lazy or that you're unserious or you lack discipline, or maybe you're just a busy bee that likes to keep busy. No. The reason behind it might be surprising to you. It's not a time problem. It is an awareness problem. Yes, I often hear different versions of this, and maybe you too may have heard them. I'm busy from morning till night but don't see any progress. I don't even know where my time goes. I feel guilty resting because there's still so much more to do. You know, all the nagging feeling of guilt, confusion, overwhelmed that makes you feel like you are doing something, always doing something, yet you're never really ahead. You're never really getting stuff done. You're never really moving the needle forward. And you're never really fully at rest. That feeling usually comes from one thing. It is not knowing where your time goes. Now, here's something interesting. Most people avoid tracking their time, not because it's difficult, but because it's uncomfortable to do. You know, tracking your time forces you to slow down and see how your day is being spent. And when you do that, you start noticing things like how often you pick up your phone without thinking, and how much time disappears into helping someone quickly, and also how often you postpone yourself just to show up fully for others. And honestly, sometimes it feels easier not to know all these things, because knowing them means that you now have to face those patterns you've been avoiding to confront. Face those patterns that you have been ignoring. But avoiding awareness doesn't solve the problem. It just keeps you in that endless loop of busyness, which can be exhausting. There's a very important distinction we need to make here. Being busy is not the same as being intentional. So busy looks like responding to messages all day, jumping from one thing to the other, constantly reacting, and then by the end of the day, feeling so drained. But then being intentional is different. It looks different. It looks like knowing what matters today and then choosing what you spend your energy on, your time on, and what you pay attention to, and then ending the day tired. Yes, maybe ending the day tired, but knowing what you actually did and achieved. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. So they might say at the end of the day, I was productive today. But when you dig deeper, what they meant is that they were active. By the way, did you know there's a difference between being productive and being effective? Productivity is about doing more things, while effectiveness is about doing the right things that moves you closer to your desired outcome. Even if it might mean doing fewer things. So you can be busy doing many things and still not move the needle forward on what truly matters. Now, this brings us to something called time leaks. Time leaks are unnoticed activities or habits that waste productive hours. So they are not dramatic. They don't even announce themselves. They are so silent and subtle. They look like scrolling your phone and then calling it rest. Having a quick conversation that now stretches longer than planned. Checking your email repeatedly just in case you're missing out on something. Email FOMO. They also look like saying yes to small requests that don't feel like a big deal in the moment. You see, individually, none of these things seem harmful, but together, they silently steal away your progress. And the most dangerous part of it is that you don't even notice that they are happening unless you intentionally pay attention. They are like cancer cells that grow quietly during the day and then become visible in your results at the end of the day. So, in building a schedule that works, awareness should come first. Should come first before the planning. It should come first before creating planners, setting up the systems, the routines. Because when you plan without that awareness, you're essentially guessing what schedule would work for you. And that's like building on a weak foundation. And you know what happens when you build on a weak foundation? You end up creating plans that don't mirror your current responsibilities, that don't maximize your energy, that don't address your distractions and even the attractions that you give into. So the truth is that if you don't take stock of how your time is spent, you won't be able to improve your schedule or build a schedule that works well for you. So here's what I will encourage you to do this week. And please hear this clearly. This week is not about fixing your schedule or optimizing it or making it perfect. It's simply about taking stock of where your time goes. So I want you to try these simple steps or simple exercises rather. First, do a 24-hour time audit. So write down everything that you did in the last 24 hours. So this is not a task to judge yourself or to feel guilty about. It's just about gathering facts, time facts about yourself. Then the second one is for one day, do a 12-hour hourly check-in or maybe 3 hourly check-in. So every hour or every 3 hours, just note what you are doing. Write down what you are doing. That's it. And then the third one is once you've done that, you've done these two, identify your top 3 time wasters. This is not to shame yourself, but to become aware of those activities that waste your time. Because awareness of your time wasters is the first step to eliminating them. When you know them, then you can address them. Once you clearly see where your time and energy goes, then building a schedule that works becomes easier and planning will become more realistic. Your schedules will start to make more sense to you. And that constant feeling of being busy but behind begins to lose its grip on you. So remember, as you go through this week, that this week is not about fixing your schedule, but about seeing your time clearly. taking stock of your time. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to try the awareness challenge this week. Until next time, remember to stay accountable and keep your star shining brightly. I remain your trusted accountability partner in goals and growth, Chini the methodologist.